That is the most beautiful CCTV building I have ever seen. And of course, at the moment, when you're in Beijing, you gotta feel it. And to feel it, you gotta see the CCTV building. Welcome back. My name's Jayce Osipenko. This man right here is Clement Chu. And Clement Chu has a story for me. And that story is how Zoe and LeBlanc can do this. Not like the golden left hand in Knight as we've seen him play in the past, which is quite irrelevant that TOP are playing, yesterday. Okay. However, with this series and with Vici forcing JDG to a Game 3, this could be the defining moment of both Vici Gaming and JDG, considering we're 3 weeks away from playoffs.
Ooh, yeah, Game 3 coming in. Both of them are really secured in their standings, and there's still a chance for Vici Gaming to actually make it if they get this game down. And like you were talking about between the Zoe and LeBlanc, I wasn't a fan of the trade. I didn't think that counter matchup was going to work well for Jay, but he did do his job, forcing out Zoom multiple times on the picks and really saving the team in those pushes.
That's why, of course, Jay will be MVP of game number 2, and Vici Gaming have an opportunity here to go the full mile. They've been Game 3 kings, and as they retake their seat, I want to see that conclusion. We have found it only against Sino Dragon and LGD. LGD have beaten EDG and IG, Clement, which means they're better than IG and EDG. No, of course not. That's not how LPL logic works, but it kind of does in the same sense. Coming through RNG, EDG, BLG, TOP, Suning, all big names that you should all know now for the LPL as we round out our first spring split.
In short, it's the 7th time that they're going to be walking up to the podium to face a Game 3.
Yeah.
They're definitely familiar with this situation. Vici Gaming, I'm telling you, they're better than their standing does suggest. The Game 3s that they've had to face were against Suning or against Edward Gaming. Those were top-of-the-table teams.
That's right.
And they have brought a very good fight. What I really like about this series is that they've been standing their ground in terms of the composition they want. They want Puff on Nico. They're adamant about that, and then they're building around the composition. Get a counter pick against Flawless, get more zoning tools, especially on someone like Southwind, and you have your winning strategy.
I was going to say, I like the Nico 2 games in a row. I also like the fact that Southwind adapted and played something more supportive to his AD carry. You didn't see Puff, get as harassed or as bullied as he did in Game 1. Instead, much more paced game from Vici Gaming, much more comfortable game for them as well. And so we're on the verge of getting to that Game 3, which is not where everyone expected JDG. None of the casters in our predictions. You can find them on our Twitter.
Yeah, you should definitely check out our predictions.
I always back Vici Gaming as well. And this once I'm like, huh? I normally back
that Vici. You were with us.
I know. I am saying I went with you, but normally I back Vici Gaming because I'm a firm believer. I put them 11th, right, in the power rankings that will not be named anymore because they just went so downhill. Well, welcome to the LPL hysterics. Like, I'm just in a rubbish bin already, a trash can. For some reason, Americans. This is going to be the defining moment of Vici Gaming. If they can continue that adaptation train or whatever you want to call it against JDG, who are known for, still able to put on the edge in this 3rd game.
They need to justify the hype, and so far they've only taken teams from the bottom of the table, and that's not enough for anyone to really get excited.
Very true.
You can be better than LGD, you can be better than teams like that. But if you take down someone like JD Gaming, that adds credence to your name. That means that you're really onto something, that this group of people, these group of rookies, can actually work and take down some of the titans of the LPL.
So we look at Puff and Southwind, of course, that is the focus of Vici Gaming if you're just tuning in. The bottom lane of VG versus JDG, we're like, oh, it's the bottom lane of JDG. But this has not been their series. It's been Zoom and Yagao that have been coming up huge with a Game 1 absolute dominance from Flawless in the jungle.
I honestly have to say I think JD Gaming need to do most of the fine-tuning to their comps so far.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go back to something that they're much more comfortable on, counter pick for the lane specifically on red side, and just try to smash CDZ's lane. For Imp, I'm sorry, bro, but Vayne has not been working out for you. You know what? I just want you on something that could shove the wave out.
I'd be curious to see if the Nico was a priority for JDG to take away in this 3rd game. Running in, we have no subs. We have the same side selection once again. And with a Zoe first pick 2 games in a row, Vici just rinse and repeat. For a team that is so low on the standings, a lot of the time, if they find something that works, they'll go ahead and play it again.
So I like what Home is doing right now. He's taking the team off of their comfort picks, saying, you know what, you got 2 Nico games.
Yeah, Nico ban.
We're done with this. JD Gaming, I still think they should go for the LeBlanc against the Zoe. That's still a very comfortable counter matchup. But the Jayce is something that we've been seeing popping up. A lot of teams are willing to first pick that, flex potential, and also very strong with the Conquerors.
Instead, the Galio gets locked in instead. We'll still probably see the Jayce get hovered on and smashed down. I'm surprised that we haven't seen the LeBlanc in this first rotation as of yet, but 20 seconds for that lock to finalize. Yagao has been playing pretty decently on it.
I don't think he's had many troubles in the matchup. Probably didn't push it as far as possible, but at the same time, you really have to think about the jungle as well. And JD Gaming are going to go for the Jayce. Now, remember, Zoom is a great Jayce as well. Took the matchup against the Shy earlier on, I believe in 2018. So that's a great start for them. It's what we were talking about. Just try to get that strong counter matchup into the top side. I think Zoom has proven throughout this series that he is the higher caliber player. Yeah,
we'll leave that as an assumption for now, thinking that Jayce will be at the top side, but still technically a flex. Vici Gaming being very cheeky with the Vayne hover, but it will be the Braum for Southwind again. Now, there was no success in game one, but having lost the Galio seems to be the most reasonable choice there for Southwind. See the reasonable choice for Jay, or rather ZDZ. You know where that Fiora is going.
Ooh, we've seen this matchup with 369 against Gimgoon earlier on.
We did.
Jayce does well into the Irelia for the first 15. That is true. But later on, the Irelia does just have a very strong matchup against the Jayce. Remember, her HP and armor growth greatly increased in this patch. So that could be a potential answer. And it's actually going to be the Renekton. So Renekton, another great matchup.
Oh, hang on. Could I just interject and say, Duembe did play Renekton mid. Now, I know Duembe is a crazed madman.
Yes.
But who,
Did you see in the mic check? He actually called himself a top laner.
That's what Iberia said. He's a top laner stuck in a mid laner's body.
But, however, Renekton doesn't have that matchup against the Zoe.
True,
well, the Jayce does have the matchup. So I do think we're going to see the Renekton top. Slice and Dice makes it very hard for the Flawless Duet to actually lock you down. So I think he has a great matchup, especially against the Irelia, and that's what we're going to see.
You know what I see? I see still potential, but I'll keep it realistic for now. JDG probably need to keep it realistic themselves after the way Game 2 went. No leads in any lanes whatsoever, apart from Zoom maybe on the cannon, but it didn't pan out as soon as the Gangplank got that Trinity Force back on track. We won't see any top lane bans come through. More about the jungle for Ike's. Loses the Olaf, loses the Nocturne, and it's just right back to Flawless. No Elise. See if the Lee Sin is the final ban, but instead the Gragas.
This is a very early game focus composition from JD Gaming. Not a lot of scaling, but they're finally going to get a tank onto their roster. A true tank, and you can see what they took away. They actually took away the more offensive and aggressive options away from Ike's.
But Clement, you know who loves tanks, and you know who shreds through tanks, and you know what Puff hasn't played yet, but Imp has? Vayne. 10 seconds. Let's get down and dirty, and let's show this Vayne who's boss. Yes!
Ah, there we go.
Thank you for making me right.
This is actually a good comp to run the Vayne against, because you can push people away with the Condemn onto Galio, and then the rest of the roster from JD Gaming, they don't actually have a lot of easy ways to shut you down. A lot of the Renekton, not the greatest engage. Jayce probably is not going to fly into your face, so you only need to watch with the tumble on that Sejuani ult.
However, JD have left their counter pick in the AD carry position just for this. So Vayne might have a difficult lane, considering now seeing Aatrox there for Vici Gaming. There's going to be a jungle Aatrox here for Ike's. What do they pick up? Does Imp go safe, or does he go for something like a Draven? Is it in his wheelhouse? Stop it!
Come on, baby!
Stop it!
Give it to us!
If he locks this in,
he says
won't.
No.
You chicken, you coward, Imp. Never mind that. It's the Kai'Sa.
Imp is just going to go back to the option where he's, you know what? You guys are all early game. I'm going to be there for you late game. If you need me, call me. I'm going to be there. But it's not what we expected. It's not what we really wanted to see. And it's more of a patchwork solution to this composition. Vici Gaming, I actually really like their comp this time around. There's a lot of solo dueling power. Look at how many duelists they have. If they find you in a fight in the middle of nowhere, I'll actually give it to Vici Gaming. The lanes, however, do go to JD Gaming. So this time around, JD Gaming are much more focused in what their composition does, and that's just win out the top side.
We were so close for him. We were just so close, and he just dangles it in front of us. Like, we're the cat, and they're dangling the, what do you call it, the cheese noodle. and all you want to do is just get fed.
I really like the Twitch into Vayne match. Twitch is super risky. It is super risky. You're talking about Zoe and Irelia. I understand why he doesn't want to pick it. But a lot of times what happens is even if you get condemned away, you can still kill the Vayne. You have 850 range.
Yeah. Not this time, Clement. All right.
Not
so,
this time. I'm sad.
How do I find myself liking this Game 3? Well, for a start, it's a Game 3. How can you not like a Game 3? What are you, inhuman? Second of all, Vayne in the hands of Puff. I don't think this champion has been picked up by him as of yet. JDG's bottom lane has been heavily about whether it's a Kai'Sa, whether it's the Ashe, whether it's something that, you know, is even like the Nico 80 carry.
So, small correction, but he has picked up the Vayne before.
Has he?
Yeah,
we just got earlier. We got 20 picks of Vayne in LPL.
Yes.
Like, so many 80 carries have played it now.
It's impossible to keep track of, so I forgive you on that one,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Ozzy Penko. But he has picked the Vayne before. He knows what he's doing on that carry type of champion.
Yeah.
And once again, you do see there is a lot of zoning potential for Puff to work against. The Glacial Fissure can come out. You have the Aatrox, which typically does take the Aftershock in the jungle position and just be a menace in the front line. He can die once, he can still revive and create a lot of chaos with that. So Vici Gaming, I think they kept the core pieces of the composition together in terms of the zoning. It's just how they can survive lane.
But can it get to the point of last game where Vici find themselves in such a comfortable position all across the map? With the Vayne, changes in composition here for Vici Gaming. But breaking the Game 3 curse, whether it happens every series or not, relies now on JDG. And for JDG, if they lose this series as well, then playoffs for them may be a question mark as the bubble expands. We have the chance for Game 3. Their audience grows. Stop it. No TSM, no SKT, no G2. None of it. I was in the crowd the other day, and I met the guy in Shanghai who says, oh, every time I chant TSM. Thank you so much, Kevin. You know what? I'm sick of it.
What was his answer, actually?
He just said, oh, just like TSM. I'm excited about TSM. He does stats. No!
Oh
Why?
My God, no.
Why does this happen now, JDG? That's not a good start.
Please.
And of course, because of the way jungle items work and experience, Flawless still level 1, Imp still level 1, who have a bit of an advantage, but stealing the blue buff.
Did you see the question marks from Vici? It's like, ah, haha.
Why do you have blue buff?
This is going to be a fun game.
Oh, Clement. He's got 10 CS though. So if you wanted to make Imp a hyper carry, I guess that was all planned, quote unquote, for JDG.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Yeah, no.
I'm really sure it wasn't.
I'm trying to justify this, man.
I know.
Making it hard.
Look at Imp's face. He's kind of like, oops. Sorry.
That's when your jungler starts talking, and you know what's going to happen is Flawless through the comms going to be like, yeah, I would be there to bottom lane, but I just slow on the clear, you know?
Look at Ike's path. He's going straight in. Like, honestly, he could put so much pressure on the Sejuani right now. Sejuani's going to be under-leveled for a long time. It's going to take her a very long time until she gets at that 3. Frankly, I don't think Zoom's actually in that good of a position. He's already had the wave push out. This is going to continuously stay in this position.
That's right.
And Ike's could find that 2v2.
You've taken Demolish on Zoom as well, so you expect him to be up to the turret quite often. That might be a bit of a pipe dream the way things go. Still on the top side of the map, Ike's is here. We're seeing press the attack Renekton in 9.4 though, so that takes your attention because the Conqueror Renekton all across the LEC, across Korea, has been common, but we still see the variations here in the LPL.
So what the press the attack does for you is that you actually do better in short trades. And I think in this matchup against the Irelia, where Irelia is just going to win out in the long trades anyway, it's actually a better option. The way you want to play this lane is you just want to chunk with your Q, you want to chunk with your W, and then you're instantly going to slice and dice back. You're not staying in for sustained fights, so press the attack now is a much better way to do it.
Very good timing there from Ike's. I don't think he was spotted out just as the minion was collapsing into the massive wave that's built up here. Ike's might just be backing anyway, so worth a try, just in case Zoom went up to clear the wave.
Really defensive just trade right there, making sure that Sejuani wasn't going to
fall behind.
Okay. We have to pay attention to the EXP. That early level not being there for Sejuani really hurts her clear speed as well. So already up to a 2-camp start from Ike's. And I wonder if he can have that same influence he had in Game 2, where he was honestly just hunting Flawless throughout his own jungle.
Yeah, we've seen what early game Aatrox can do. Let's take a trance back to what Ben 4 was able to achieve in the bottom lane. Very good early game jungler in the league from Victory 5. And Ben 4 has often picked up this Aatrox, roam to the bottom side, early double kills just for him. Flawless will be spotted out here at level 3. So the difference is that Ike's now with this information might be able to make the same path or look to contest Flawless with the level advantage.
Yep, JD Gaming, they're playing much more defensively with Flawless. We've talked about Flawless being more of a hunter-killer where he likes to duel people, but he also does have this side where he plays for utility when he feels like he's beaten. In the playoffs, we saw this again. Lee Sin is usually the best pick, but against Haro, he went for, you know what, I need to provide something for the team. He does play a bit of Sejuani and the likes of Zac as well.
Interesting way to clear the mini wave. Condemn thought he'd get it. Ike's now level 5. Keep an eye on when that 6 comes into play. Spotted out in the mid lane as well. Doesn't have any camps to clear anymore. So after the quick early clear, we'll just be trying to find a way back into this lane. Flawless doing the same, getting some deep vision.
It's actually having a very good laning phase. He's almost up 20 CS at this point.
You know, 4 of that CS goes to blue buff, but not the other, not the other 15 or so.
To be honest, getting that early wave push is quite
good. You just keep pressing Q.
Yeah,
10% CDR at level 1.
It really does work, and you don't have to worry about your mana either.
Maybe it was a plan, Clement. You know, maybe it was all planned out. Is this, however, is Yagao caught out in the mid lane? Jay doesn't land the Sleepy Trouble bubble, so Yagao just walks out.
Yeah, really good dodge from Yagao through the gate. Gets the extra movement speed to get away from the Infernal Chains.
Yep. Ike's was just coming mid lane to help get the fast pushing wave onto Yagao. Has to play conservative into this turret, and Jay with a bit of a lead. That won't last long. Puff gets condemned in the bottom lane. Galio in a bit of trouble. Might have blue buff there on him earlier in the game, but that doesn't save the flash and the heal from the bottom lane of JDG.
Oh, that was a timeout play from Vici Gaming. Just look at how long LvMao was stuck in that position. Gets stunned by concussive blows, then condemned. Being caught in detention.
Oh, man. You gotta pay the teacher, you gotta bribe her to get out. At this point, JDG, there's no teacher. Unfortunately, they've just left. They're writing on the walls. I have no clue. I was never in detention. I was a good boy. So you're gonna have to paint a picture for me sometime, Clement.
I was never. I was also an A+
Oh,
as well.
wait.
I was the top of my class.
I was an A+. I just didn't get in trouble. I just played League of Legends.
This is really good lane
Maple Story.
manipulation. ZDZ is gonna have to wave push into him. So they're trying to goad a Zoom, a Crocodile to overextend.
He's done this 3 times though. Twice in the top lane, once in the mid lane. Zoom playing very safe. And the thing is that Flawless is catching up. Flawless is getting there with the CS and is now 2 difference. Level back to normal. Ike's still not level 6, so trying to be proactive with the lead he has, but just hasn't been able to make anything of it.
What I'm seeing is that, judging by the compositions, JD Gaming's lanes are not actually providing what they expected. Of course, it does have to do with Sejuani being behind quite early on, but honestly, Vici Gaming, they have a much better scaling composition. Yeah. And this is perfectly fine for them. They have the Vayne in the wings, they have their soul lanes doing great.
I guess taking Flawless out of the play, even though he's even, is good enough. Ike's is level 6, Flawless is not. There's still the level, or half a level advantage now, it seems like. Scuttlecrab's up. Let's contest. Can he get it in time? I mean, with the help of his mid laner? Yes, should be able to. Ah! That's a very deflated shock blast.
Oh, I thought you were doing the Sejuani flail.
Oh, no.
Northern winds.
Ah! Oh, Clement, that's good, man. Yeah. Think of this before me. Next time you get in there, right? Give me a there we go.
Ah, well done.
First blue buff of the game.
Better synergy confirmed.
Well, hang on, no, it's not. I mean, Flawless didn't get that one either. But this time it was intentional, is my purpose. Good to see, Clement. All right. So now with Yagao on the blue buff in the mid lane, has the push out with the serrated Dirk. It's going to be a bit more punishing here for Jay. Lost chapter picked up, so we'll see exactly how this lane goes, but Jay's going to pick up his own very soon as well. With lanes, let's see if this one tempers out a little bit. Zoom's still not doing too much damage. This is a good all-in. Here comes the ultimate immediately from ZDZ with the ult already popped on down. Zoom tries to heal it out. Clement surprised. What's happening here, Clement?
That's really well done by ZDZ. He timed the W perfectly, dodged out on the triple attack coming in from Zoom, and he was able to turn that around. And you can see the power of Conquerors on 9.4 with those sustained trades. Renekton really doesn't have a say. It doesn't have a say in this situation.
No, look how many people he's bringing up, but a very deep ward there onto onto the top side, Brush. JDG can play it safe. Thumbs up. Yeah, baby. That's what you want.
And this is the carry potential of ZDZ coming out. His 2 champions played in his previous series was the Gameplank and the Irelia, so definitely familiar with this. Can they find the Q?
Ike's is here, coming for the knock-up. Zoom caught out as well. There's 3 people here. They don't know LvMao's in the brush. Ike's, here it goes. Justice Punch, 2-man shielded around. JDG turn it on like the light bulb we were waiting to see. Southwind with a flash over the wall. The Arctic Assault. Glacial Fissure, Zoom flashes around it. You crocodile, you. Feels like home with Zoom picking up the second one.
And nobody expects the support in the brush. Welcome to the LPL. There's always somebody hiding in one of those brushes.
That's right. No Pixel Brush ward to get LvMao. ZDZ able to push up the top wave, but now backs away. And if you wanted your top lane to regain consciousness of this lane and control, that's how you do it.
You definitely have the lead on it. Like, we just see these support gambles so often in the LPL. I think it's the main driver of growing action compared to other leagues. Both sides say, hey, you know what? Our support's here. We must have a numbers advantage. But surprise from LvMao, I'm actually here as well. And just watch that crowd control chain. No hope for the World Ender to ever be procced, and they find such an easy kill onto the Aatrox. Even with Aftershocks, can't survive that. And another great flash from Zoom to follow up.
Still a really well-placed ultimate there from Southwind, but an even better flash from Zoom. Now hits level 9. We'll have Dominus, not Dominus. Your flaily whaley, your spinny win. What is it? Your Renekton spin to win. Cull the Meek?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, it's one of them, even if not. I don't care. He's healing a lot. Now this lane should go back to potentially what it could have been at the start of the game. Jay, nice. That's an ignite from W, by the way, folks. Don't get your panties into a knot. So ZDZ back into the top lane. Now, taking state of the game here. With Imp having such an early lead, Puff has regained. Now, Puff has had very good laning stats. Puff has had good stats all around. And you can see why. The Vayne in a good position here, Clement.
He was actually down close to 20 CS at the start of this.
That he was. I mean, that's what happens when Imp gets a blue buff.
Accidental tactics revealed.
I'm not letting it go, though. I mean, it's a rough start.
And I liked his adaptation from JD Gaming. I think the drafting was a lot smarter. You know, Flawless just take him on something more consistent. Top laner, just give him a counter pick. See what he can do with it.
First time we've seen a Sejuani in a while in the LPL too. We've been playing very aggressive junglers since week 2, week 3. Sejuani opened up our eyes in the first week of the LPL.
Yeah, the last Sejuani I saw was actually from the top lane, from Snake.
Oh, Flandre Sejuani, yes. That did not last long. That really didn't last long. Oh no, trouble bubble doesn't land. Jay has to flash away. Good all in from Yagao.
Actually, pretty interesting flash away there, because if the crowd control actually landed from Yagao, it was a potential follow-up from Kaisa.
But while the Rift Herald's getting done,
I don't know how he knew that. It was pretty smart.
This is a smart rotation though. LvMao just as punch into a wall. Okay, Observer, get off him. While the Rift Herald's getting done, turret plating in the bottom side of the map. So JDG know this trade's going on, and of course, good vision here early from Vici Gaming.
I want to see how much they actually took out that bot turret. Seems like 2 turret plating's being done. And pretty even trade overall. Yeah.
Depends where that Rift Herald goes in the end, what it makes. Jay. Look at Zoe. Curious to see how this goes. Shock Blast missed. That's the opening window of a trade for Yagao. If he doesn't find that damage, then Jay feels safe in this lane. Kind of the difference here. Serrated Dirk does so much, considering there's no armor in the inventory of Jay.
Yeah, but of course Yagao does need to get close, or at least land some of those shock blasts. Hasn't really been finding his targets with it, so the CS lead ever so slightly in favor of the Jayce, but hasn't really been able to do much with it. So I actually give this primarily to... Okay.
Yeah, man, he had the burn as well.
Yeah.
Like, from 5 to 1. This blue buff is giving me nightmares.
It has been not a point of something that JD Gaming want to mention often.
But Flawless has made up for it. Riptold's going to go down here. He spoke of the trade-off in the bottom lane with 2 bits of turret plating. Let's see what this makes. It all goes over to Yagao. 320, nicely done. Even it is.
I want to see the first team fight coming out from Vici, though.
The chicken dancing behind it as well. Well,
they do very well with these front-to-back team fights. They have a great front line. You can't really kill them.
Look Where Flawless is though,
Can he
Clement.
actually find something on the back?
Can you kill Southwind is going to be the next question.
Yeah, I really think Flawless needs to be on point with that Glacial Prison onto the back line.
Yeah.
The front line's very difficult to deal with.
Just throw it out. I think the Flawless saves it for another day. Ike's still that half a level up. The Aatrox kind of skyrocketing over this matchup. One of my favorite words, by the way. Is about 13 CS rather than 5. Apparently I can't count. Or the blue buff going... Now what happened? Flawless picked up wall camp. Sorry, folks. Bit distracted there. Blue buff will go over easily to Jay. And these matchups... You talked about the winning lanes here, Clement. You talked about how potent they could be on JD's side. There's only a small gold lead. Vici Gaming moving slowly but carefully towards this mid to late game. It's looking pretty good here on game 3.
I have to say, if there's one thing good about this start, it's at least Imp is going to have a chance to show off.
Yeah.
He was the third option. He was kind of a footnote in games 1 and 2. It was like, oh, he played Vayne. That was pretty much it. This time around, he got a great start in lane.
Yep.
And he has to use it, because this is not exactly the script that JD Gaming hoped that they were going to write. But they have it anyway.
He's not the only AD carry excited about Vayne. As Puff has just been farming away, picked up play to the Ruin King while the Dragon goes on. Cloud Drake, followed by another Cloud Drake. JDG for early game priority. Don't have their run of the litter. We'll see what comes up next. Ike's sitting in the mid lane now. Won't be able to pull back Yagao as well. Just farming up and taking some resources. Still big lead here for Ike's in the jungle, but could be bigger despite how the game started.
Good work on the Demolisher. Ooh, great trade.
Yeah, really big trade. Now turning in the favor of Zoom.
That's the difference between Conquerors and Press the Attack now. They're much more distinct. Conquerors, you have to proc those stacks on champion hits. You can no longer do it on the minion wave. So in terms of burst damage, Press the Attack, much better option.
Oh my lord, Silver Bolts dodges away from the Justice Punch. Ultimate lands onto him to flash forward away from LvMao. Goes golden, here comes Aatrox, Ike's is in, locks him down, Infernal Chains, come back here! Ike's picked up the kill and Turret's gonna go too.
That was a great trade starting out from Puff versus Imp. Just getting that 3 proc off was enough to take him down to half, and that's really the strength of Blade of the Ruin King versus the unfinished IE from Imp.
Flawless coming in, Sejuani riding Licky Tongue, sends out the Icicle Shard to Jay. Instant cleanse, good response. They still lose the turret, but could have been so much worse.
Jay did not even stop sliding.
Yeah.
That was a very good cleanse. Like, back in Season 2, everyone would be, oh, that was amazing, but we can't really do it
not quite the Captain Jack, but you know.
Yeah.
Like,
that was still very good, though. Really quick reactions.
Jay will be fine in this lane as well. So I think the biggest thing you take out of that play, even though there's a 20 CS lead in the mid lane, is that Jay survives. There's no further resources going over. Breaking down the outer turrets for JDG seems to be the simplest fact here in this early game. But now going to the inners, now getting those pickoffs, now fighting against the composition and the momentum that Vici Gaming will naturally get comes up next.
I really like how Yagao actually took down that tower. What you have to notice, he actually did get the blue handoff a little bit earlier than his opponent. He was able to use that phase to consistently push those waves in and get himself quite a sizable lead. It's a really well done, and it's just about those timings. You have to maximize those windows where you have the blue, but your enemy doesn't.
All right, Clement Chu. Your name is as addictive as this game 3. Vici and JDG still trying to break open turrets. The difference for JDG is they continue forward. And that blue handoff has made a bit of a difference. Yagao's now expired as he pushes away ZDZ. He's going to take... Why did he not take a turret shot? What? What?
That was just out of range. It's fine.
Even though he hit a champion and he was on the turret.
If it's the champion's not in range, you don't get out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that hasn't happened in my games. I don't know.
I
don't know what you're talking about.
Are
I'm
you
testing that when I
specifically
get home.
unlucky or something?
I don't know. Maybe I'm experiencing the visual bug firsthand. All right, Clement, learning something every day. I don't know if it feels stupid right now or if that's actually a thing.
You just don't play long-range champions. Like, if you don't play long-range champions, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You know what I play? I play Kled after your own half. I try to. In China at the moment, there's a cool rotation. Oriana's on rotation. Which is absolutely
because
awesome.
of International Women's Day.
Yeah, it's really cool. The Chinese client actually making a lot of the female champions available to play. It's awesome because I play so many. Like I play Karma, which I already own, Oriana, But enough about me. It doesn't matter right now. We're in game 3. We're talking about.
Gonna slow
I'm
down
so shy,
for a while.
guys. You know?
No, overall, JD Gaming, they just do find what they picked for with these lanes, and that's taking those early towers down early. Great showing from Zoom. He actually has a sizable gold lead in the top side as well.
He does.
And he might actually be going for the Spirit Shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see if he builds it up, because it makes perfect sense on the Renekton. Second or third item has been the way to go. Of course, when you pop that ultimate, you slice and you dice and you slice and you dice, and it just doesn't stop. Flawless down the bottom side here now as well. Renekton actually coming in as well. Lands again. Flawless. Impressive as always. Ike's at half health. Might have to pop the World Ender and does. Zoom comes in with the slice and dice once again. Ultimate's already there. Remember, only one item, but Ike is going to go down in ultimate form. Trying to turn the fight around. Vanguard's Edge does exactly that. Two-man ultimate. This is Vici Gaming and JDG running for the hills. Ike all the way through. ZDG gets a flawless duet. Trouble level doesn't land. But the turnaround here from Vici Gaming as no one dies.
Yagao's still looking for it. Right there, JD Gaming were forced to switch their targets back onto World Ender on the Aatrox, and they couldn't really find the picks. Everyone in position from Vici was there, and they do beat back the over-aggression coming in from JD Gaming. But the damage from Yagao was really surprising on that play. You can see the three-man shock blast landing underneath the tower and taking a lot of HP bars away.
And every single time JDG lose some of these kills and gold goes back in the pocket of Vici Gaming, it is scarce, it is rough. We'll have a look how they caught ZDZ after what looked to be a good flash.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty awkward situation where they're like, hey, we still got the catch, maybe we should go for it, but ZDZ does take himself out of position. Zoom can't find the W onto him, and he has to go for the Aatrox instead, and they're still underneath tower. JD Gaming, I've always said this, but if you can predict what play they're going to make, it's so easy to punish them. We've seen this when EDG plays them. We've seen it when BLG played them. They just know instinctively where they're going, and they're able to collapse.
Could have been so much worse. Puff wasn't even in that fight. It was a 4v4 underneath the turret. I believe the farming Kai'Sa was elsewhere as well. Infinity Edge picked up for her. Also, double item here for Puff. He's got a CS lead. He's got a gold lead. The assist always helps out while mid lane is suffering, while top lane is quite even too. Jay does not see it. Good dodge away from Yagao, but he plays safe.
Still not going to venture into that area of the map. Very good control by JD Gaming on this side. Renekton does has teleport as well, so Vici Gaming, I think they just need to check using bubbles. Jay's going to be the one in the front line.
So again, where are we back to? Yagao Zoom versus Puff with maybe ZDZ and Jay in the mix.
This
top
is
versus bottom.
Very different game, though. I do give the scaling options over to Vici Gaming.
Yep. Oh, alone. Chicken picks up the bubble. Contaminated. Walk away. Teleport coming in. Zoom heading head first. Spirit Shojin, 2-item Renekton. Flash already burned out. Vici Gaming trying to force away Zoom, and they've done it. That's the condition to get the disengage from this fight, and they've found it.
Southwind has been an absolute monster in these fights, dodging out on the Glacial Prison and also blocking a lot of the damage coming in from Jayce. I haven't seen Yagao land a shock blast on this sieging team from Vici.
Oh, wow. JDG trying to protect their jungler. Trouble level doesn't land, or sorry, Paddle Star does not. Jay still a big threat here. Still has Smite. Fun fact is Baron is not warded. JDG, just do it.
Please don't.
Yeah, let's get it.
You really like the Fiesta,
I'm the Kermit's dark side. What a trouble level to land on the Yao. He has to cleanse away. Very fair trade, but Vici Gaming have walked into this blind choke. Vayne pops the ultimate. Puff has to flash out. They're caught out, but can they turn it back around? Ike's can. Here comes the hero's entrance, but Southwind has already found Zoom. JDG, the Vanguard's edge onto the backside. ZDZ's got one. Flawless has to get out. Ike's is chasing him. Yagao locked down. Vici Gaming, are you kidding me? The trouble bubble almost onto him. Flawless is the last remnant, and although Licky Tongue runs for the hills with its rider on back, JDG now have to threaten and purposely go towards this Baron.
A 3-for-0 trade in favor of Vici Gaming. They turned the fight around. So much attention being thrown into Puff's way, but he simply flashes across the wall. Doesn't even turn his head. Can Flawless actually find this?
From around the wall, Southwind zoning out. They've now spotted him out. The flash is there. They have to get him Flawless into the pit. Stop the Baron. They get him instead. Perfectly done from Vici Gaming. Baron is theirs. The gold is theirs. And at 23 minutes, the momentum is theirs too.
That was a 73% win rate for the Colonel on JD Gaming, but watch that beautiful flash across the wall, dodges out on all that damage, and Aatrox is in town. 3-man knock up, and did you see that?
What, LvMao flying?
Yeah, condemned straight on the back of LvMao. Doesn't get to stop them on the choke, and the entire team of Vici Gaming walk through the ramp and find their targets.
I'm as hyped up for ZDZ as I am hyped up about Chalitza in the first week, though. Good transition in the top lane, the fresh air giving a lot of that speed back to Vici Gaming's composition in terms of the players itself. The composition in this game, Aatrox making work happen. Jay on the Zoe 3 games straight is an issue once again like game 2. Imp takes a trouble bubble, zoned away, flawless duet.
Stunned.
Do they go for it? Imp at half health. They might lose even more with this Baron buff. Imp just can't be near.
Imp needs to go back. He needs a reset. He's trying to stay in the fight with the red buff, but I don't think he's going to be doing much here.
Even found Jay to the side. The trouble bubble again, trying to zone out. It does the job onto Yagao. He walks over it just in time as Puff is free firing onto the turret. Vici, their siege won't stop here. Like last game, they're playing so defensively. This time, the aggression is here.
And they take another tower away, a comp with a scaling option, finally flipping on the switch and getting the gold lead for the first time. Before that, 3K down, and Flawless finds himself on the wrong side of the jungle.
He does not want to find Puff. There's so many defensive measures to defend him. You look at the consequences of this game. If it keeps going the way of Vici Gaming, Baron buff is giving them such an edge. If this goes over to Vici, JDG, their run isn't as smooth as you'd like it to be. Playoffs on the line, and they are still a bubble team.
This is a very interesting path that Yagao is taking. He actually tried to go for a flank in the mid lane. Didn't find it, but still finds himself in a good transition onto the bot side. Just to recap a little bit about how JD Gaming found themselves in this position, they were winning a lot of lanes, they had all 3 outer turrets down, a failed dive in the bot side, and then a failed initiation towards the Baron fight. That's all that needed to get Vici in the driver's seat at this position. And I think a big point of worry is that Zoom really doesn't have the resistances to even hold on and stay in the front line.
This was a race towards turrets. Guess who loses it? It's JDG. Mao bursted out, Zoom as well, Infernal Change, Trouble Bubble, all the CC landed down. Base now open. JDG looking for the re-engagement, Trouble Bubble lands onto a minion. There's the ult ready for Imp, but Killer Instinct, I have not seen this game from the AD carry, and you will not see it just yet, unless Zoom is able to get in first.
That's a really good move by Vici Gaming. They call the bluff. They say, you know what, Yagao, I don't think you're going to push forward. We're a 5-man here. We're going to force the issue. And basically, Flawless, his bluff was called. He was waiting there. He was waiting to see Vici send someone back and find that solo kill. Once that didn't happen, Vici Gaming just got away with the push.
26 minutes in, another Cloud dragging up. Oh, JDG. Although your comp may be outscaled at some point in this game. The Cloud not what you want. There's a Mountain coming up next, and Vici Gaming have the gold lead. With a team like this, that is going to be so beneficial. Of course, denying the Cloud rank from a team that has an Irelia, that has, of course, an Aatrox that's running towards you, and even a Vayne with Night Hunter. Means that you're going to be, okay, triple Cloud, that's good. We're fast. But fast to run away. What was that sound? Oh my god, it's disgusting.
JD Gaming are pretty much relegated to finding picks at this point. Look at their front line. They don't really have good tank items. No resistance is really being built on the Renekton or the Sejuani.
He's going Sterix next as well.
Yeah, that's Sterix is a good anti-burst item, but again, no resistances. So we're really looking at a time where Vici Gaming can just end the game with very straightforward pushes.
Yep.
Just fish around with sleepy trouble bubbles until they find someone.
Oh, look at Ike's on the side. He's found Yagao. He comes over the wall, locked down again with a paddle star. Enough burst to get them out of the fight. Yes, it is. Kai'Sa has to supercharge her away. Vici Gaming knocking down these turrets very quickly. Still a gold lead. Still momentum. Again, being the key word for the team that wants to try and keep JDG out of playoffs and start their run to theirs.
A little bit of a unfortunate shot there. This is all the minions. Our observer really likes taking those.
I mean, our observers are fully. It's a quick run for Vici Gaming. If they were to lose this game, if they were to lose this series, it's a quick run down. Because the rest of their schedule goes, you know, a bit sideways. A couple of teams that have been knocking on the door of some of the teams in playoffs, but not knocking on the door itself, if that makes sense.
Vici Gaming had one of the most front-loaded playoffs, regular split schedules that we've seen.
They versed RNG right outside of Chinese New Year when Uzi came back. That was like, hello, how's it doing?
They served him. They served Vici up on a plate. It's like, here, Mr. Uzi, time for some warm-up. And they didn't do very well in that series. It was a straight 2-0, but against all the rest of the top teams, actually held their own quite well.
Yep.
And Vici Gaming, this is gonna, if they do make it here, this is going to be the first playoff team that they legitimately have defeated.
That's right. They've already taken down Sino Dragon. This is the thing about Vici Gaming. It was a messy best of 3, but a best of 3 it was. LGD as well, who now defeated IG and EDG. JDG would be another team to add to the list. And even if they don't make playoffs for this split, this is a team you can get excited about. This is a team that has a huge ceiling that may not be capitalized this early on, but could still lead towards summer and maybe even 2020. As Baron now contested in this game, that would be almost a nail in the coffin with the Mountain Drake coming up shortly afterwards. JDG need the fight of a lifetime as it's already been started up blind.
Flawless should spot this. He's been hiding in this side brush for a very long time.
Mike's not that tanky either. Trouble Bubble lands once again onto Zoom. Jay, can he rip through him? Zoom has no resistance, as you said, Clement, and there's your proof.
He has to go back, does still have the teleport, so at least they're going to stall out for just a while longer.
Yagao has to be careful where he is. Trouble Bubble an inch from his life. Baron could just be started up again, but too many members of JDG are around. And Vici waiting for them to check the vision, walk into a brush blind, and lose the game.
This Renekton has not been paying off for them whatsoever. Now, we've seen a couple of Renektons, but the Spear of Shojin is kind of those items if that you're ahead and you want to go into the backline, it's a very good item, but a lot of times it does take the place of the Sterix Gauge as a standard second option. And in these type of situations, it can actually backfire on you because you just can't stand in the front line anymore.
That's right. Sterix Gauge coming soon there for Zoom. Already almost to 3 items there for ZDZ as well, who'll be optimizing towards the same route. There's 2 items on the mid lane. Jay's optimized for a Rabbit on second, which is quite interesting. Not going for the safest play. He wants to output as much damage as possible, but also that Trouble Bubble is going to set him up for success. So makes perfect sense here for the almost level 16 Zoe, where you see 2 items, 3 now for Puff, and that is a lifeline on the Phantom Dancer, folks. 9.4, remember.
JD Gaming don't have the best engage, and they're lacking on the front line as well, so a very difficult situation for them to maneuver. I feel like they had the team fighting edge in Game 2 when they were down 10k, but I really don't see how they actually pull a team fight win out of this one. This is one of those moments where you really get tested. You have to pull something out of your hat that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, remember for Vici Gaming, some of their fights in the Game 3s rather that we've witnessed, especially against V5, Vici Gaming weren't as clean as we wanted them to be to close it out. So always potential here for JDG. They're hiding in the brush, waiting for this vision to be spotted. Ike's might be the one spotted out here, but they can't fully commit on the Aatrox, who has World Ender available. And there with the Flawless Duet, ZDZ such a threat here. Almost level 18 on Irelia.
We really need Imp to start outputting more damage. To be honest, he really hasn't done much in this series yet. Having a very slow game in Game 1, Game 2.
Yep.
Taking the blue buff in Game 3. He really needs to show that he's worth his salt at this point. He's the only one that can realistically start dealing with that.
Oh wow, that's a 2 Flawless Duet. I don't care about him. Let's go back mid. Double flash Perth there. Or rather just one from LvMao. Zoom, level 16, so level 3 Dominus. But while Imp does the Mountain Drake, they could just threaten and go ahead with the Baron.
Actually still resets the Mountain Drake, but he'll be fine.
They know he's down here, that's why they're looking for a fight in the mid lane. Back on over towards this Baron, still not threatening it just yet. I like the pace from Vici Gaming. Still playing towards that win condition, still baiting JDG out so they can get their dream team fight.
This is actually very good work by JD Gaming with how much they're behind in the team fight sense. I feel like Vici Gaming, they're actually at the point where they could start baiting these Barons a little bit harder. They do have great engage tools. Someone's going to get caught by the Sleepy Trouble level at some point. They're playing it quite safe, just going with the scaling options. But I think they could actually start pushing their leads just a bit more.
The Baron dance with no pants, it seems. As Flawless caught napping, walking through towards the red buff. Red buff going to be challenged here as well, taken away by Ike's. JDG backing away. They don't see Imp, otherwise the Baron will be started immediately. Flawless 2 levels behind, so a Smite still is asking for so much.
I honestly think Teamfight in turn is a very good option for Vici. They're very far ahead. It's more than the gold lead would suggest, and Imp is out of position.
Yeah, finally making the decision. Vici Gaming don't know that, however, not walking over any vision just yet. They back away. Shockblast doing nothing. You might be looking at Vici Gaming here, folks, and saying, all right, you know, You know, they could throw this, they could do anything at this point, but it's still super, super hard as Vanguard's Edge not connecting with Yagao.
Cloud Drakes, baby!
Yeah, they're so fast.
The favorite Drake of Cloud9.
Huh. Alright, it's caught out. JDG has to be careful where he backs. Good warning here for JDG, starting up the Baron. They see them backing.
See one back.
But Ike's is still here. LvMao on the zoning patrol, 5k. Is this a mistake from Vici Gaming to back right in front of their ward? Yes, maybe it is. Now for the Baron dance.
Who's gonna get
Smite
the spike?
battle. Aatrox comes back up, secured by JDG, and they found Aatrox. They found another. It's Imp onto Puff. The Vayne has to bring something out of the woodwork, but a flash away. Southwind joins the fight. Jayce still alive. Puff as the ultimate locks on down. Zoom's still there. Puff, can he do it? Silver bullets again. Puff walking forward. Flawless drops as well. It's Vayne game. And with the heal forward, Jay tries to get a picking of the litter, but with 2 members dead of JDG, they get their Baron. You shout worth, but it could have gone so much worse for Vici Gaming.
Definitely could have been a lot worse there. Puff with a miraculous save right there, and we have to start from this fight. It all started out with the Trinket actually spotting out 2 backs coming in from Vici Gaming. They do not respect it and finish their backs still. So JD Gaming, they do find a very good opportunity, instantly take it, rush it, but this was the ramp where Vici's victory was held at. They did not let Yagao and Zoom, the front line, the Dumpling brothers, get near Puff. Puff was able to outdeal so much damage in the final moments of that fight, and Southwind and Puff, a great duo, a duo to remember.
Southwind and Puff, you're right, Clement. Look at the damage from the Vayne. Hit the point in late game, which you fear from every Vayne player. You add Jay into there as well with 4k damage. But let me tell you something, Southwind is a legendary support. Just from this series alone, has played fantastically. And so Puff adds himself in there as well. 4 items on the Vayne. You already have yourself a nice little QSS with the GA now up and picked up. 4 items versus Imp. And Imp did a little bit in that fight, but maybe not enough. Flawless might be caught out here as well, but just hobbles away. Vici now waiting for that Elder Dragon in 1 minute 30.
JD Gaming, they're just dancing around the minion wave so far. They know they can't take this straight up 5v5, but they've been doing such a good job at making sure Vici cannot force anything in terms of the fights. You know, their only really engage option has been Jay and ZDZ, and JD Gaming have avoided all of it. You have to give them props for dragging it out like this. You can say the fight Puff played very well, but JD Gaming, they still clawed themselves back into a favorable position.
That's right. Baron only slows or enhances the game for JDG. Zoom picks up the top lane turret. Gold back to even, but we're getting to the point where gold doesn't mean too much. You see any unusual items there? Well, you're probably looking at the fact that we see the boost swiftness nice and early from Yagao. That was like 20 minutes ago, but more importantly, you have the Mortal Reminder on the Jayce, so trying to shred away these tanks before their output and able to last the fight.
It's going to be pretty hard for Vayne at this point. She doesn't really have the crit compared to the Kai'Sa. It's already at 50%. Is going to go for the Quicksilver Sash.
Oh, Yagao's found IXO. World Ender popped. Still, Yagao might be late game, but the Jayce is almost full build.
This is really cool from JD Gaming. They're actually just sending 2-man hit squads across the map and saying, you know what, we'll push this lane in. You can't come over here. We're going to get more time on Imp to scale up on those items. And they're actually in a favorable position with all of the elemental drakes.
You burnt down the jungler. You burnt his flash. You can start this Elder and be comfortable that the 5v5 isn't as favorable as it once was. Locking down with the Glacial Prison. ZDZ is there. Can you get in? He can't. The Dragon goes down. The Jungler goes down. Now for a 4v5. Watch for Puff. He has to survive. Southwind protects him with his life. Yagao forces a flash over the wall. Puff is there into GA form. ZDZ is going to go down as well. But they already find the Kai'Sa. Again, it's Jay and Puff into the corner. Galio tries to make his chickadee exit, but he picks up a trouble bubble at the same time. They jump back in. LvMao is down. And Puff and Jay carrying this game on their backs. JDG, upwards they go, but Jay's found him again. Zoe, ladies and gentlemen, where is it coming from? Jay doesn't need to follow. He's already done enough.
This is so smart from JD Gaming's part. They set up the position correctly. They know the only path Ix has into the Elder Drake. Yagao with the great snipe, and it looks like it's all lights out for Vici Gaming. But Jay with a fantastic paddle star actually finds Imp straight out of the revive coming in from ZDZ, and they managed to turn the fight. If Imp did not fall down there, I think it would have been a straight wipe for JD Gaming. They had the numbers advantage. Watch this. Jay looking for the angles, does a sidewind into a flash paddle star to find Imp. And that was the play that really gave them this advantage, and they're able to chase down the Galio as well.
I hate Zoe, but Vici Gaming love it. Every single time we see Zoe, so impactful at this point in the game. 39 minutes in, and the Sleepy Trouble Bubble is too much CC to deal with. Doesn't matter who you are, it's going to force something. Vici Gaming, it's 39 minutes, the clock is ticking, it keeps on going. And JDG, try as they might, these fights are coming down to the wire. With a different team composition, it might be a clean ace. Vici surviving, handling, holding on. Flawless, caught out on the side. Arctic assaults away, even condemned. Baron up in 30 seconds, and it's 40 minutes. I'm ready to party once more.
I thought we were going to get one of those flawless moments where we were like, what are you doing, flawless? But props to them, that was very well played. If Vici found that pick, that was going to snowball into the entire team. 5v4 situation in the mid lane. He does avoid that.
JDG still have priority because of the Elder buff, but it's expiring as Baron respawns. One of the longer games in the LPL, definitely not the longest. One fight, the definition. They've caught out Yagao with a trouble bubble. Jay going past him, flawless blocks. Good jungler. Now, Baron, Elder's expired. Let's go again.
They're going to set up an ambush. They got
Southwind caught out with the Pixel Rush Ward. Ike's in as well. The AoE, Southwind's re-protecting Puff. He doesn't go down. This is the biggest thing. Control Bubble lands on the floors. Look at Puff free-firing into the final hour. Is it JDG's at this point? LvMao with the Justice Punch away. Vici Gaming, Control Bubble
on the right
doesn't
side.
land, but Vanguard's edge. And we're on the edge of glory. It's a beautiful pentakill song, and it implies at this moment, Vici Gaming have already found one. The flash over the wall. They found Yagao into the wall. Condemned to death. Vici Gaming with 2, and JDG don't know what to do.
JD Gaming, they're still running around on the rest of the map like headless chickens at this point, but Vici Gaming might just be going for the kill. We see the pings going down straight towards the mid lane. 40 seconds on Yagao. I don't actually think they can finish it, especially with Imp up, so maybe turning tails and going towards the Baron might be the better decision at this point.
They want an inhibitor turret, they want the inhibitor open top lane as well. If they can chain it in, it'll be good, but Baron probably would have been the better option. Vici Gaming want this to go faster, want this to end sooner. 41 minutes in, inhibitor broken in the base. Vici heading forward. Please don't do this. Vici Gaming, my heart can't take it. They've found him, they've found the flash, and the way from the QSS, but they're onto Flawless, knocked up, taken away, condemned away. The Glacial Prison, they've taken one Nexus turret. Puff going into the final hour. JDG bringing this down to the wire, it's still alive. Beautiful shield of Duran. Galio keeps it alive. Vici Gaming do find him in the end, but that's the time they need. Jay is low. Zoom, sliced in and diced, and Renekton doing the old spinny zoo. He'll get locked down by the flawless duet. JDG, that support play could have been everything.
Ooh, that was so close from Vici's side. I really doubt that decision. It was an open Baron for them to take, but they said, no, we're actually going to try and end the game right here, right now. This actually gives JD Gaming a very good time.
You cannot back here. Yagao's coming in hot. Jay, oh my.
Are JD Gaming going to get another Baron?
Just off the back of these back timings again. It starts up. There's no way you can test. Baron number what, Clement? 4? Baron 4 or 5? I've stopped counting, man.
Such a questionable play from Vici Gaming. I have to say it, Yagao's right. A little bit of an immature play. JD Gaming could not take the 5v5 for 20 minutes, basically.
Yep.
And they're still able to dance around the map, weasel around the lanes, and keep themselves in the game.
I can't believe JDG is still at this point where they're still contesting Vici Gaming with the composition they have.
They're going to make it a force for second Elder. If they get second Elder, it doesn't matter about the scaling. They're going to win the game.
Yeah, that's insane. One team fight for JDG will be it.
Second Elder is 100% bonus.
Look at the Colonel.
I mean, he doesn't know where he wants to go.
He has no clue. Look at him. He's like, yeah, man, thumbs up. It's that guy that just smiles and says, I don't know what's going on. At this point, Elder coming up in 30 seconds. Colonel, rethink your life choices. What's going to happen next? Puff is tagged.
Yep.
Ooh.
Second Elder is really big. Second Elder and scaling goes out the window. You do so much damage with that 100% bonus on those Elder Drakes. And I don't know the exact stats, but it should be lights out. Our developers that said that you're not supposed to lose if you get that second.
You miss 100% of the Elder Dragons you don't take. That's Vici Gaming's philosophy right now. But if they leave this mid-wave after clearing it, JDG might be able to push right back and look for a mid-inhibitor turret. Yagao gets some deep vision down. Heads on back with Begun again. Second Elder of the game. You cannot give this over to JDG.
Actually, for Vici, it's not a big deal if they actually take it, so I'm wondering if JD Gaming want to fully engage on this. Flawless might be looking for the steal. He's over the wall.
4K, he can't see it just yet, but with the help of vision from the other team, they haven't reset it. Flawless over the wall. Are they going to give it over? Elder Dragon resets a little bit. Vici turning for the fight, but Flawless still doing the Dragon in the backside. Concussive blows coming down. Flawless is there. He gets it. Double Elder. Let's fight. Let the blood come down. JDG, Imp is having the time of his life. And Vici Gaming, you will not make that mistake again.
Puff
Into
is
the GA.
alive.
CDZ tries to turn the fight, but he can't. 2 members left alive. Tagged away is Jay, but Imp has no ultimate. Puff and Jay now need to save the game.
Such a masterful play from JD Gaming. They know their win conditions so well, and Puff is on the run. It's a 5v2 situation.
He's healed enough, but Jay gets bursted out. Good trouble bubble zooms in here. Slice and dice. Puff into the GA. Can't do it. JDG saved from certain death underneath the turret. Puff will drop as well. The full ace comes through, and JD Gaming, they were on the brink of despair, losing to Vici Gaming. Their playoff dream coming out slightly less than what they wanted to, but the win here will define that you can never underestimate the Dumpling Brothers and the rest of JDG.
You gotta give it to JD Gaming. They were rookies themselves in 2018, but that was a performance that only veterans could have pulled off. The intelligence to hide around those objectives, to know when to steal, to know when to push the lanes out and drag the game out, give themselves a chance. That was beautiful, masterful play coming in from JD Gaming.
A way to finish that game could not have come at, I guess, a well-put way by you, Clement. The double Elder spells lights out for Vici Gaming, and it did. Flawless stuck to it. He stuck to it like his life depended on it, and it did. And Vici Gaming played the bait. They played spoiler in that game, in that series rather, but weren't able to go the full mile. Look how upset they were. I think it was ZDZ sitting back in his chair. He cannot believe what just happened.
But what we did see out of Vici Gaming was that their lanes stood tall. All 3 of their lanes across the board, they didn't cow to the pressure that JD Gaming's picks really put on. The Jayce didn't get a lot of leads in the mid lane. The Renekton, not really enough of an advantage to put down the Irelia, and they actually came into the mid game so strong. If they could just clean up those late game macro decisions, if they could have just found a little bit more engages with the Sleepy Trouble Bubbles, I felt like this was a game that was firmly in Vici's control.
Very well put. Puff, I'm sorry. Oh, man. That's so rough. The Game 3 legends resume. And it is just so sad to see they've only won 2 out of what I think it's 10 now of the Game 3s.
Yeah, this was their 8th Game 3 so far,
okay.
And
so 2 out of 8.
They actually have not won a single Game 3.
Oh, they have. Oh, because there were 2. Well, against Sino Dragon.
Oh, they have won 2. Sorry. They
right.
won the LGD and Sino Dragon series in the Game 3s.
But let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. Vici Gaming still excite me.
Yes.
This is where it lets me down. This is where I say 11th was a reasonable expectation for them. Still development. And if you have those strong lanes, if you have that strong maybe early game and know how you're playing, then your identity towards the late game just needs to be strengthened up even more.
Yeah, the late game decisions were really questionable for me. The Elder Dragon was something that, as long as they just force off, it would be fine. They don't actually benefit a lot out of it. They had 0 dragons to their name, or I believe maybe just 1. So it wasn't a worthwhile trade to stay in that situation and potentially give the steal over to Flawless. That was a very questionable play for me. I didn't like that.
No.
And the second thing was, they really should have gone with Baron instead of ending the game. It was a 5v3 defend, and they had 40 seconds. Sure, they had 40 seconds.
You still get the inhibitor there.
Yeah, the inhibitor was fine, but they should have turned around for the Baron. And once they had the base broken, they had such a superior 5v5 team composition that they could just walk in and finish. Like, there was a lot of chances for them. You have to give props again to JD Gaming, though. That was so well played. I love how they managed the side waves. How many times did you see Yagao on Jayce walk through with that Knight's Edge, not that Knight's Edge, the Dust Blade, and just clear out that path and say, hey, no one's going to see me. I'm just going to clear this side wave and make sure they can't push. That was pretty smart.
That's so rough. I mean, we all got our predictions right in the end.
Yes.
But Vici Gaming are going to be shattered after that one there. And so could be their playoff dreams with that single series. However, more playoffs expectations coming up. EDG and OMG. The fun doesn't stop now. Let me tell you that. I hope we go all the way once again right after this.